We've been talking about Iran and what do you think is going to happen here. As you heard from my conversation with Trita Parsi, I'm very concerned about this. One of the things that concerns me the most, now that we know how clearly Dick Cheney and George W. Bush lied to us about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq in order to have a war that George W. Bush and Dick Cheney thought would carry them to victory in the 2004 election, and in fact did. Now that we know that they lied to us about this, Seymour Hersh, the iconic New York Times reporter, the guy who has broken all kinds of major national security stories for the New York Times, hasn't worked for the New York Times for probably a decade or so, but he's still one of America's great investigative journalists. At an event that I believe was held by the Center for American Progress some years ago. Oh, Campus Press Journalism. Thank you, Nate. Had this to say. Check this out.
There was a dozen ideas proffered how to trigger a war. The one that interested me the most was, why don't we in our shipyard build 4 or 5 irate boats that look like Iranian PT boats, put Navy SEALs on them with a lot of arms, and the next time one of our boats goes through the Straits of Hormuz, start a shoot-up. Might cost some lives. One of the things they learned in the incident was the American public, if you get the right incident, the American public will support, bang, bang, kiss, kiss, we're into it. Look, is it high school? Yeah. Are we playing high school with, 5,000 nuclear warheads in our arsenal? Yeah, we are. We're playing, who's the first guy to run off the highway with us in Iran?
Yeah, this is pretty, with us in Iran. This is pretty amazing stuff. And keep in mind what he's reporting here, and to the best of my knowledge, this has been backed up, or at least it hasn't been contradicted, is that Dick Cheney sat around in the White House and said, hey, let's have a war with Iran now. Right? And the way to do it is to build some boats that look like Iranian Navy boats and start that.